Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you live from the home studio today on this, the 21st day of January in the year 2025. Sure hope you're enjoying your Tuesdays, no matter where it is you are in the country. But if you are here in the Northeast right now, 18 degrees. My God, is it cold right now. So hope you're enjoying the day and hope you're able to stay warm no matter where it is you are. But as you do each and every week on Tuesdays, you welcome me into your home so that I could bring you this week's news. And we have a lot to get to today that is not in this week's newspaper. But before I get into that, I will welcome in Lisa, who is, of course, watching us in the office, and Henry Atwell, who is also here with us. And Henry was able to get Lisa home from JFK last night. Henry, thank you very much for going out and for getting Lisa and Tina back home yesterday. I appreciate it very, very much that you were able to do that on very, very short notice. Lisa was supposed to fly in Sunday to Newark Airport, and of course, don't you know, her flight was canceled, and then they rerouted her the next day to JFK, and it was delayed and delayed and delayed, but Henry got her, so thank you very much, Henry. And we also welcome in my dear friend Melanie Ryan, who is also watching us as well, and anybody who may be watching in the background, thank you very, very much for watching. John Drimkowski is also here with us, watching us from North Arlington, no doubt. Now, today's a big day in Kearny, and this is where we're going to start. This is a photograph of Jose Rodriguez. Jose is the person who will more than likely be nominated to be the second ward representative on the Kearny Town Council. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about him real quick. Jose ran before. He ran in 2023 against Dennis Solano, and he lost that election by about 25 approximate votes. It was a very, very close election. Jose is a really good guy. He really is. He has run for council before, and he has done a whole bunch of things on a civic level, including with Project Graduation. His wife, Ann, was very big with Project Graduation and the PTA at Kearny High School. And he is the person who the council will vote on tonight at 7 o'clock when the council convenes at Town Hall at 402 Kearny Avenue. My understanding is that he will get the necessary required votes for the position, and I'm very happy to hear that, because what that will mean, more than likely, is that there will be a vote from somebody who normally wouldn't have supported Mayor Doyle. And what my hope is, and I have no way to know for sure whether this is going to happen, but I certainly hope this is the beginning of a reconciliation with the two sides of warring Democrats. Now, maybe it'll just be for tonight, and maybe it won't last. Maybe there'll be a primary. Who knows? But this is a very good choice. Jose is an excellent person, a wonderful person, and I believe will make a fantastic councilman. He speaks more than just English. He speaks Portuguese, too, and I'm sure he understands Spanish as well. And I had a chance to interview him last year, and it was a very, very good interview, and he seems to have a lot of fresh ideas and thoughts. So what will be interesting is to see whether anybody crosses over to vote in his favor, because what you will see more than likely is votes from the mayor, Jerry Facito, and also Mary Trine DeCastro and Fred Steves. So that's four, but that leaves four more. We'll see what happens. And I also understand it's possible that one of the council members may not even be present tonight, so it should go through. But you never know what will happen. But this could be the beginning of something that I guess a lot of people have been waiting for the last year, and that would possibly be some sort of harmony on the Kearny Town Council, and I certainly hope that does, in fact, happen. We will certainly see come 7 o'clock this evening. Tune in, and we'll find out. We'll certainly bring you the information once we know it for sure. Let's also welcome in Mayor Dan Pronti, the mayor of the great borough of North Arlington. Mayor, good to see you. I'll be talking about you in a few minutes. Thank you for joining us today, and all the way from the cold mountains of New York State, Barbara Condon is here with us today. Barbara, it's great to see you. It's been a long time. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Pat LaCasto joining us from Sin City out in Vegas. Good to see you, Pat. Thank you very much for joining us. And my other dear friend here, too, Manny Ventoso Jr. is with us as well, watching. Manny, your name was just on the screen. I don't know if you saw it, but this was from a couple of years ago when I did an interview with Jose. You can see your comment was right there up on the screen. That was kind of funny. I didn't do that intentionally. It was just where I took the screenshot. Now, also at the Kearny Council meeting tonight, 5 promotions will take place, in addition to an agenda that is 9 pages long. If you're going to this meeting, it's going to be a very long night, which is why I think I'm going to be watching on Zoom tonight. But there will be at least 5 promotions, which I understand will begin at 8 p.m. tonight. They're going to do a few things ahead of time. There's a presentation, and then the promotions for the swearing in for the promoted officers will take place at 8 p.m. And going from sergeant to lieutenant are Adriano Marks and Tom Pontrella, 2 well-deserved promotions there, and 3 well-deserved promotions from patrolman to sergeant. Jose Perez Fonseca, who was the Police Officer of the Year a couple of years ago, Sean Podolsky, and Jose Resua. So those gentlemen will all be promoted tonight, give or take 8 p.m., and of the 5 on the list, I know Adriano Marks the best of all, and he's been in charge of the community-oriented policing unit for a long while now, and I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to that position because lieutenants often don't run departments and units and things of that nature, but he has been a tremendous asset to the Kearny Police Department, and that includes, and is especially the case, with the community-oriented policing unit, the police academy that you see every year, the Junior Police Academy. That is him. Adriano does a phenomenal job. Now, this week's newspaper. Let me just check the chat just in case I missed a couple of people. I'm sure I did. Lori Brado is here today. Good to see you, Lori. Thank you for popping in. Good to see you. Lorraine Sanfilippo is also here as well. Feels like old home with all the people she knows who are watching with us today. It's good to see that. And Melanie is wearing fuzzy pajamas and bringing a pillow to the meeting tonight. So let's see what happens. She's going to be in for a long one. She's got a lot of courage to go. Now, on Saturday afternoon, a gentleman by the name of Michael Gabriel gave an incredible presentation on the history of diners in New Jersey at the Kearny Public Library's museum. And I was fortunate enough to be there, and it was great. It was a great hour that the museum committee put together. I really enjoyed it. Melanie was there also, as was the mayor and Jerry and a few others who were there as well. And I'll tell you what, I learned a lot of things about diners that I never knew, including that the precursor to diners were these lunch wagons, one of which you can see on the front page today, which says Hudson Cafe. The E is cut off, unfortunately. But it was the first lunch cafe in the state of New Jersey, and guess where it was? South Kearny. So I learned a lot about it, and you'll learn a little bit more about it, too, if you read the story. But it was a great presentation, and a lot of things are happening at the library. Josh is doing a phenomenal job, too, of keeping that place so vibrant. On a Saturday, when I walked in there on Saturday, it was packed with people doing all sorts of things. So there always seems to be something going on. There was something that came after the diner presentation. And, Michael Gabriel is a really cool guy. He was a former journalist, but he's written a series of books on diners in the state of New Jersey, and I think you will enjoy reading about it yourself because there's a lot of things that I just never knew. But we won't get into that. You read the paper. That's why you will figure out what is going on with that when you get to that. The Kearny Police Department's blotter this week. This guy tried to outrun a criminal. The criminal tried to outrun the police, but unfortunately what he got were the Stickno brothers, both of whom played rugby when they were younger. Not a very wise thing to try to run away from 2 people who are former rugby players. So needless to say, Alan and Ryan both caught up to the criminal and caught him, and he was placed under arrest. But you'll see that in this week's blotter. And as I mentioned earlier, in North Arlington, the borough of East Newark broke ground on 6 brand new, which to me look like they are going to be absolutely stunning townhomes at 610 Schuyler Avenue in North Arlington. Look at that rendering right there. That is going to be some beautiful, beautiful new homes there. And I believe 6 units are being built. They're all 2-bedroom units, and they're starting in the range of, believe it or not, $700,000 per home. And I guess that's the market rate right now, even though it may seem, when you think about it, that's a very high number. But it's gonna make that area so smart and so well taken care of, because some those properties along Schuyler Avenue are not the best looking. This is really going to be a tremendous addition. And as he's done since he became mayor, and with the help of his borough council, just another area where the borough of North Arlington is doing great things. And I'm looking forward to seeing this project come to fruition. The Four Chaplains Mass is coming up on February the 2nd, so that is at noon at St. Stephen's Church. My understanding is that Bishop Michael Saporito will be the celebrant of that Mass. Bishop Michael, I interviewed for a job with him back in 2005. He is one of the best homilists I've ever heard. So I don't think you'll be disappointed if you decide to go to the Four Chaplains Mass this year, which is also known as the Father Washington Mass. And he was the pastor of St. Helens in Westfield, and he became a bishop right during the COVID months. But he'll be here in Kearny to celebrate the Four Chaplains / Father Washington Mass on Sunday, February 2nd at the noon Mass. So if you've never been to that Mass, it is a very stunning and moving. There's a lot of pomp and circumstance in that liturgy, where with military honors, the color guard, the Knights of Columbus, things of that nature. So if you haven't been, good year to go. Once again, February 2nd, noon at St. Stephen's Church in the town of Kearny. And the one final thing that I wanted to discuss with you this week is my editorial. It's a little bit on the selfish side because, as many of you know, in a couple of weeks, the Star-Ledger and the Jersey Journal are going to cease operations. But the Jersey Journal is completely stopping. The Ledger will continue in a digital form, but the Jersey Journal is going to be no more. And back in 1991-92 school year, when I was a senior at St. Peter's Prep, I took a journalism course, and that was when I fell in love with the field. And I will never forget this, that in my class, which was taught by Jim Horan, who still happens to be at St. Peter's to this very day, he's been there since 1974, 50 years this year. I took this class, and he had a writer in from the Jersey Journal by the name of John Petrick. I just found out John died over the summer, very young, 61 years of age. And I thought, oh boy, would I love to be able to work for the Jersey Journal back then. And so I spoke with John and Jim Horan, my journalism teacher at the time, and within a couple of days I was on the phone with Peter Weiss. And many of you may remember Peter. Peter wrote a Political Whirl, was the name of the column, was Political Whirl. He knew everyone and everything about Hudson County. And it just so happened at this point in time, in late 1991, that the Jersey Journal was looking for somebody to be a stringer or a part-timer, a correspondent, to cover West Hudson. And on January 1st, 1992, the Jersey Journal sent me to East Newark Borough Hall to cover the borough's reorganization meeting. Joe Smith was already the mayor. And when I tell you, I had no effing clue what I was doing when I got to that meeting on January 1st, 1992. I am not kidding. And when I tell you I was shaking and nervous, that would be the most understatement of it all. But that's where it all began. And then I started covering Kearny council meetings and Harrison council meetings. I had a chance to see the great mayor of Kearny, Ken Lindenfelser. Frank Rogers was still the mayor of Harrison at that point in time. I had a chance to learn the ropes through Peter Weiss. And I was 17 years of age at the time. You can do the math. And I was so lucky that I had that opportunity as a high school senior. And I'll tell you what, even though today they are quote unquote the competition, if it weren't for the Jersey Journal and the opportunity that Jim Horan, John Petrick, and Peter Weiss gave me back in the late 1991, I would not be sitting in this chair right now. God knows what I would be doing, because that was when I fell in love with being a journalist. And the rest, as they say, is history. There were a couple of years where I was a teacher, and those were wonderful years too. But I think most of you know by now that my home is right here in this town in Kearny. It's right here at the Observer. But I have to give thanks to the Jersey Journal. If it had never existed, or if I hadn't had that opportunity, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. And it's kind of sad to see a newspaper close, no matter where it is, no matter when it happens, because part of your childhood, like for me, is going away, and it will be sad to see it gone in the second day or the 1st of February, whenever the last day is that they're publishing. But if it were not for the likes of Pete Weiss, Jim Horan, and the late John Petrick, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. So I had to say something about the Jersey Journal's closure, and it will certainly be missed, I'm sure, by scores of people in Hudson County who read it on a daily basis. And I really feel for the people who work there now, starting with David Blomquist to Ron Zeitlinger and Margaret Schmidt, Terry West, Josh, and all the rest who are there, Tanya. I hope they all find new jobs. They're all very, very talented, and hopefully will all land on their feet when all is said and done. Don't forget, we also have 2 pages of classifieds. Let me just kind of skip over to that. Jason Bernstein has 3 sports stories, too, including an athlete of the week, and there are plenty of classifieds if you're looking for a place to live. Plenty of apartments available, and there are a lot of job openings as well. Check those out when you get a chance. And don't forget, what we will do is check in and see what's happening tonight. We'll watch the council meeting, so you don't have to, but of course you can watch it at kearnynj.org, and we will bring you any updates tonight when we learn about what happens with the town council. Now, before I sign off, let me just check the chat room. Alexis Sheridan is here. Maximilian Schell is here. Good to see you both. Sean McDonald is here. Good to see you, Sean. Sharon McEwen, good to see you, of course. And anybody who's watching in the background, it's good of you to be here. Thank you very much. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Observer Live. I thank you all for being here. We will check in with you when we know a little bit more about what's going on in the replacement of Rich Konopka. And then if not, we will see you, of course, 1 week from today with the Observer Live once again. From the home studio today, Kevin Knessa signing off for now. And I hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay warm. Bye.